Charles Swindoll wrote a great thing about attitude, and in the final paragraph he said, "I'm convinced that life is 10% what happens to me and 90% how I react to it. And so it is with you." And that is so true. I want to talk to you about it in your morning cup of inspiration. How important is attitude to the people that you're around, the people you interact with? How important is attitude as far as your outlook on life and the way that you handle problems and challenges? Have you ever been around someone who was all about themselves and they were just so filled with conceit, how good they were and how great they were at this and how wonderful they were at that? That's hard to be around. But someone who's interested in you and puts the spotlight on you and asks you questions, you like being around that person because they're not all about themselves. They're outwardly focused. And that's the way that the Lord lived his life. He came to lay down his life for us. That's how focused he was on others. And we read about it in Philippians. Paul wrote about our attitude. In fact, in Philippians chapter 2, verses 3 and 4, he says, "Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, but in humility consider others better than yourselves." Do you have that attitude? Each of you should look not only to your own interests, but also to the interests of others. You see, when you're outwardly focused, people just want to be around you. It's like a magnet. And then when you look at the attitude you have toward life, we're all going to have problems, challenges, obstacles. And it's how we react to those things, how we handle them. There's a story about a U.S. Marine. It was during the Korean War. And he found that his division was surrounded by 8 divisions of the enemy. He said to his troops, he said, our enemy is on the left, our enemy's to the right, our enemy's in front of us and behind us. This time, they can't get away from us. That was his positive attitude. So think about your attitude towards others and your attitude towards life. And remember what Paul said. Don't do anything out of vain conceit, but considering others as better than yourselves. I hope that inspires you, and I'll talk to you soon for another morning cup of inspiration.